Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really unlocking the hidden power of your mobile device.
hmm
We're diving deep into Termux and, those foundational commands that can basically transform it into a true mobile command center.
Yeah, that's quite something.
So if you're ready to move beyond just tapping and swiping, well, this deep dive is your shortcut. It's a way to get comfortable with the command line, and honestly, it offers some surprising efficiency and insights.
It really does.
It can fundamentally change how you interact with your phone or tablet.
It's true. I mean, most of us, we navigate our devices through the familiar visual world, the GUI, right?
Right.
The graphical user interface.
Right, clicking icons, dragging things.
Exactly. Think about creating folders, moving files, copying, renaming, all clicks and drags. And, it works. It's fine for everyday stuff.
Super intuitive, yeah, for just casual use.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting, I think. In Termux, we're talking directly to the device,
Through the CLI.
the command line interface. Right, it's definitely a different way of thinking, no doubt.
It is.
But, like you said, once you master these commands, file management, for instance, can become lightning fast, way more precise than just clicking around.
Oh, absolutely. Far more productive sometimes.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Let's start building our digital workspace right here in Termux.
Okay, let's begin by creating, say, your first digital workspace. The mkdir command is your tool. Stands for make directory. Pretty simple.
Make directory, okay.
You just type mkdir and then, well, whatever name you want for your folder, like mkdir my project.
Gotcha. mkdir folder name.
And boom, it instantly creates a new folder right where you are in your current location. What's kind of fascinating here is the power it immediately gives you.
How so?
Well, imagine needing to set up a complex project structure. Folders inside folders inside folders.
Oh yeah, that's a nightmare in the GUI. Click, click, click.
Exactly. Endless clicking. With
Yeah.
Mingcare, you could potentially script that entire setup in, like, seconds.
Okay, that is a leap in productivity right there. So we've made a folder using mkdir. The immediate next step, I guess, is always checking it's actually there.
Yep. You want to see what you did?
How do we get that quick overview? See what's in our current spot.
That's where else comes in, just mkdir. It lists all the files and folders in your current directory.
Ah, okay.
You type mkdir my project, then you type lvi, and you'll see my project listed there. It's like glancing at the contents of your desktop folder.
Perfect. Okay, so we have folders. Now we need stuff in the folders, files. How do we create empty files, maybe just as placeholders to start?
Right. Well, there are a few ways, but the touch command is a really great starting point for that.
Touch. Like just touching a file into existence.
Sort of. You can create one or even multiple empty files just by typing touch, then the file names. Say touchnotes.txt report.md.
Okay, touch file name 1, file name 2.
Exactly. And these files are initially empty. Yeah. Just like shells waiting for content.
Right. Empty files are good scaffolding, but, eventually you need to put something in them.
Naturally.
Now, most people know GUI editors like Notepad or TextEdit, but in Termux, we use something different, something called Vim,
Ah, Vim.
the classic.
It seems really powerful, a proper terminal text editor, but it has a bit of a reputation, doesn't it? Steep learning curve.
It definitely does, yeah. It's not immediately intuitive like Notepad,
Yeah.
but it's incredibly powerful once you get it.
So how do we even get it? And maybe what's one tip to make that first encounter less terrifying?
Okay, first, installing it is easy with the package manager. Just pkg install Vim.
PKG install Vim.
Yep. It might ask for permissions. Just press Y and enter if it does.
Okay.
Now, Vim is unique mainly because it operates in different modes. When you open a file, say vimnotes.txt,
Which opens it if it exists or creates it if it doesn't.
exactly, you start in what's called command mode. This is where you tell Vim what to do, not where you type text.
Right, not typing mode.
No. To actually type and insert text, you have to press I on your keyboard. That switches you to insert mode.
I for insert. Got it. So my top tip for beginners. Always remember the escape key. Pressing escape takes you out of insert mode and back to command mode.
Ah, okay. Escape is the eject button.
Kind of. And from command mode, that's where you save and quit. And, learning Vim isn't just about Termux. It's a really foundational skill
Why is that?
because it's everywhere. It's a universal text editor. You'll find it on basically every server, every developer machine you might ever work on. It's worth the effort.
Okay, so you type your stuff in insert mode, make edits. Then comes that crucial moment, saving and getting out without losing your work. How do we do that safely in Vim?
That's the key part. So you're done typing, you hit escape to get back to command mode.
Escape, check.
Then you type wq.billu.tero, that's a colon. then WD for write and Q for quit.
Colon, WQ, WQ.
And press Enter. That saves your changes and exits Vim. Done.
Okay, that seems manageable. Escape.wq, enter.
And once your file actually has content, maybe you just want to quickly see what's inside without opening the editor again.
Yeah, like a quick peek.
For that, you can use cat, just cat file name, so catnotes.txt.
Cat, okay.
Now, cat can do more complex things, but for this deep dive, let's just focus on its main use, viewing file contents. Spits it right out to the terminal.
Nice. So we've made folders, made files, touch, added content, Vim, saved it WQ, and viewed it cat.
Building blocks.
Now, in any real project, you're constantly moving between these folders, right? Hopping inside them. How do we navigate the directory structure easily in Termux?
That's the CD command. It stands for change directory.
CD too.
So if you created that folder, my project, you just type CD my project and press enter. You're inside it.
Much faster than double-clicking, I imagine.
Way faster, especially if it's nested deep.
But how do you know for sure that you're actually in my project after you type CD? Is there like a you are here command?
Yeah, basically, it's the PWD command. Stands for present working directory. Type PWD, hit enter, and it'll print out the full path to your current location. So after CD my project, PWD will show you something like datadata.com.termux files hold my project. It confirms exactly where you are.
Instant confirmation. I like that. Avoids confusion.
Definitely.
You know, when you get a new gadget or software, you often look for the manual, right? Or a help menu.
Sure.
Does Termux have something similar for all these commands so you don't feel totally lost if you forget something?
It absolutely does. It's really well equipped for help. If you just need a quick reminder, most commands respond to help.
So like pel help.
Exactly. Cool help, mkd or help. It gives you a quick summary of options. But for the full story, the really detailed guide, you use man.
Man.
Yeah, man. It stands for manual. So man-else gives you the complete manual page for the close command. All its options, examples, everything.
Like a built-in instruction booklet.
Precisely. You might need to install it first, though. It's usually PKG install, man.
Another PKG install.
Yeah, and press Y for permissions, if it asks. But man pages are incredibly useful.
Good to know there's help readily available. Now, all these commands, they're great. But after running a bunch of them, my terminal screen can look pretty messy.
Oh, yeah. Scrolls and scrolls of output.
Is there a command line equivalent of just hitting a clear screen button? Wiping the slate clean?
Oh, that's a lifesaver, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's simply the clear command.
Just clear.
Just clear. Type it, hit enter, and poof, your terminal display is wiped clean, fresh prompt at the top, ready for more action.
Nice. Sometimes my terminal looks like a digital graffiti wall. Clear sounds like instant zen.
Totally. It's essential for sanity.
Okay, speaking of getting things, we used PKG install a couple of times now. You mentioned it's the package manager. Is it kind of like Termux's own little app store?
That's a great way to think about it, yeah. It's like the Play Store, but specifically for Termux command line tools and applications.
So all the packages, the apps, are stored there.
Exactly. You can browse them, search for what you need, and then download and install them using PKG.
How do you search? If I'm looking for, say, a tool to download web pages.
You'd use PKG search, so maybe PKG search download or PKG search web. It'll show you relevant packages.
Okay. And this PKG system, is it just a Termux thing?
No, that's the beauty of it. Package managers like PKG or apt or Yum on other systems are standard across pretty much all Linux-based environments. So learning how it works here is a really transferable skill.
That's good value. Now, sometimes you don't want to install just one thing. Maybe you want a whole set of tools or even kick off a more complex setup process automatically.
Right. Automation is key.
We had this really powerful example command earlier for installing basic programming languages and stuff all at once. What was that monster command again, and what makes it tick?
Yeah, that one showcases a few cool concepts. It was PKG update and PKG upgrade. PKG install wget https.raw.getthebussercontent.com prints convert click mana.out dho click chavid plus x click.click.
Whoa, okay, break that down.
Sure, it's actually several commands strung together. First, PKG update and PKG upgrade. The end means only run the next command if the previous one succeeded. So it updates the package list and then upgrades installed packages. Good practice.
Okay, and for success chaining. What about the semicolon?
The semicolon, it just separates commands. They run one after the other, regardless of success. So after updating, it runs pkg install pyget-y. That installs the wget tool, which downloads files from the internet. The -y flag automatically answers yes to any confirmation prompts.
Handy for automation, no waiting for input.
Exactly.
Right.
Then it uses JShoik to download a file from that GitHub URL. The -y click part tells DryWitchGate to save the downloaded file with the name click.
Okay, so it downloads a file and names it click. Then,
Joshwad plus x click. This changes the permissions of the click file, making it executable, like turning a recipe card into a button you can press.
it gives it permission to run.
Precisely. And finally, .click actually runs that downloaded, now executable script or program.
Wow. So that one line updates your system, installs a tool, downloads a program, makes it runnable, and runs it.
Yep. It's a mini program itself. Shows how you can automate complex setups without touching the keyboard again after hitting enter once.
That's seriously impressive. Command line power right there. Okay, so we've seen file stuff, text editing, installing things, but Termux isn't just for hardcore techie tasks, is it? Can it handle simple, everyday utilities too?
Oh, definitely.
Like, what if I just want to check the calendar quickly without leaving the terminal? Do I have to switch
Nope.
apps?
Stay right where you are. There's a command for that too.
Merkle.
Telekol for characters.
Yep, just type Merkle. By default, it shows you the current month laid out nicely.
Neat.
And you can also give it a year, like Call 2025, and it'll display the entire calendar for that year.
Huh. That's surprisingly handy. A simple convenience, but it really shows the versatility, doesn't it?
It does. Little things like that add up.
What about getting info about the device itself? Like the operating system details,
Yeah.
processor type, kind of like a quick system health check or ID check? Yeah, for system information, you use the unnamed command.
Unname, like Unix name.
Probably stands for something like that, yeah. If you run it with the I flag, so unnamed,
-A for all.
likely yes. Unnamed displays comprehensive details. OS kernel name, the device's network name, host name, kernel release version, machine hardware architecture, processor type. Lots of good info.
Gives you an immediate snapshot of the system's identity right there in the terminal.
Exactly. Very useful sometimes.
Okay, this next one sounds like just a bit of fun. You know how sometimes you see cool, stylized text, like on posters or old computer screens, big block letters?
ASCII art, yeah.
Kind of like that. Can you do anything similar in Termux to make text really stand out?
You absolutely can. There's a fun command called Figlet.
Figlet.
Yeah, Figlet. You feed it some text, and it uses these special fonts, which are really just character arrangement definitions to display your text in large stylized letters.
Oh, banner text.
It's exactly like banner text. It's great for, adding a bit of personality or a dramatic title to scripts or messages in the terminal. You can install different font packages for it, too. Check out its man page.
Man Figlet. Will do. Okay, so we've covered creating, viewing, editing, navigating, getting help, installing things, even fun text. But what about the opposite? Getting rid of stuff.
Deletion. Important and needs care.
How do you delete files and maybe more importantly, folders? Because I hear deleting folders can be a bit tricky, especially if they aren't empty.
Right. It depends. If you have an empty directory, a folder with nothing inside, you can use rmdir, stands for remove directory. So rmdir empty folder.
Rmdir for empty ones, okay.
But if that directory contains files or other folders inside it, rmdir won't work. It'll complain.
So what do you do then?
Then you need the more powerful and potentially dangerous ARM command with specific flags. You use rmdir arf directory name.
rmdef rf, what do the rmdef mean?
Okay, R stands for recursive. That means it'll go down into the directory and delete everything inside it and any subdirectories all the way down.
It digs deep.
Yep, and F stands for force.
Oh.
This tells ARM not to prompt you for confirmation for every single file. It just deletes.
Okay, recursive and force. That sounds like something you need to be really sure about before hitting enter.
Extremely sure. rm-rf is famous for being dangerous because there's no undelete button. No recycling bin in the terminal. Once it's gone, it's gone. So double check, triple check the directory name before you run that command. Use it with extreme care.
Definitely noted. Use rm-rf very, very carefully. Okay, one last command. Just like when you log into a computer, you have a username. Is there a quick way in Termux to just check, okay, who am I logged in as right now?
Yep, dead simple. It's the wami command.
Why?
Nice and clear.
Just type wami, hit enter, and it prints your current user ID to the screen. Simple as that. Good for confirming your context, especially if you switch between users or environments sometimes. Perfect. Wow, okay. We've really blasted through a lot of core commands today.
We covered some good ground.
Yeah, this deep dive, I think, has really given you, the listener, some fundamental tools Tools to genuinely transform how you interact with your digital world,
Absolutely.
moving beyond just the clicks and taps into, well, potentially much more powerful and efficient command line mastery.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember the terminal isn't just for, elite hackers or sysadmins anymore.
Right.
It's becoming a much more accessible, versatile tool.
Yeah.
And understanding these core commands really puts immense power at your fingertips. It sets you on a path to truly owning your digital space, making the technology work for you.
That's really well put, owning your digital space. And maybe here's a final thought to chew on as we wrap up. These commands we talked about, mkdir, lg, vim, cat, pkg, all of them, they're really just the beginning, aren't they?
Just scratching the surface.
It feels like the start of a whole new paradigm. Once you really get comfortable with them, the terminal stops being the scary, complex thing only for coding. It becomes this incredibly versatile tool for any task, really, big or small. We saw file management, sure, but also just quickly checking a calendar with Killel or making text look cool with Figlet.
Yeah, the scope is huge.
So imagine the possibilities. Once you realize you can perform almost any everyday task directly from the command line, often faster and more efficiently. What other parts of your digital life, your daily workflow on your phone or computer could be streamlined with these kinds of tools? It makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
What else could you automate or simplify? That's the fun part.